Joining us on the line now is Olivia Bella. She's a poet and writer known for her sensual and elegant writing style that's largely influenced by her own experiences, as well as visual arts and music. Olivia was born and raised in Hungary and has been living abroad for many years. She's currently in the creation process of her second book, as well as collaborating with various composers and artists for future projects. She's with us on the book show to talk about her debut poetry book. It's called Spicy Dreams Sugary Lies, a poetry collection about love, passion and betrayal. Welcome to the book show, Olivia.
Thank you, Hannah. I'm happy to be here. Hi, everyone.
Hi, it's lovely to have you with us, and congratulations, your first book out. This must be very exciting.
Thank you. It is very exciting. It's been quite a process. So, I'm here and the book is out. So it's a huge milestone for me. I'm really happy. Yeah.
So how long have you been working on the book?
There are poems in the book dating back to 2019. So, I've been selecting quite a few pieces from back then as well. And did you slowly putting it together?
Yeah. So did you decide in 2019 that you wanted to write poetry for a book, or was it that you had enough material in 2019 to form a book? How did it work?
Yes, it wasn't a conscious decision back then. It was more of a process when I saw that, okay, I'm really going somewhere with this, and this is such a passion for me. I decided to put the book together. By now, however, I have so much content and so much material that I could actually publish 2 more books if I wanted to. It's just that they have to have a certain theme. So I think that's the part when it's a bit more difficult to put together the poems so they make more sense, not just like a jigsaw.
Yeah. So do you find yourself writing poetry all the time then as a way to express your feelings as to what's going on in your life?
Quite a bit, I would say. There was a time, especially last year and 2 years ago, I was writing every single day. Now it depends. I still do write a lot, quite a lot, and I'm writing poetry in my head constantly. So I'm taking notes all the time whenever I have an idea. Yes, I do write quite a lot.
And does your poetry tend to rhyme?
I do. I use a lot of internal rhyme, but I don't go overboard with it. I just like subtle rhymes, slant rhymes. Not so much the rhyme when you find the rhyme at the end of the sentence, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But I love a good rhythm and good flow of a piece. So that's the most important part for me.
Okay. And how long are your poems, or is it a real mixture?
It's a mixture. I don't have very long ones. I have everything from one-liners to slightly longer pieces, but not overly long ones. I write a lot of short poetry. I enjoy the idea as well when you can express a lot in a few words. A lot of people like it as well nowadays, as we have such a short attention span. That being said, I do have a few pieces. Most of them are not in this book yet. It's going to be in my other ones that are longer story poems.
Okay.
Like scenes that are kind of unfurling in front of your eyes, and it's more like a story, like a short story, but counted in a very, very poetic way.
Yeah. And how can you remember how and when you got into poetry? Was it through reading poetry, or did you just start writing yourself?
I just started. To be honest, I was never like, oh my God, I'm so into poetry, I need to write poetry. I did like poetry, I'm not going to lie. I did like it, but it was mostly because I had some stories to tell. I had some stories and a lot of passion in me that I wanted to convey, and I wanted to process my emotions. I always loved writing. And then I just started, and it turned out to be poetry. So it wasn't actually a conscious decision. It's quite interesting that it just came about quite instinctually.
Yeah. So the book Spicy Dreams and Sugary Lies is divided into 3 chapters. Tell us about how you've divided the book.
Yes. So the first one is mostly about betrayal, heartbreak. This is the sad part of the book, based very much on my own experiences. I'm telling stories about what I went through, about deception, betrayal and disillusionment, about love and relationships. And then I transition into a happier part when we fill our hearts with hope again. And this is about finding that sweet soulmate love and beautiful connections. And then the third part of the book is the saucy part. It's more about sexual experiences and sensual encounters, fantasies. So we have a bit of everything. And I wanted to finish on a positive note, this book, because it starts relatively heavy, not too heavy, but, heartbreak. Everyone can relate to that. So I didn't want to leave the reader with this bitter taste in their mouth. And it's just more uplifting to finish it with something spicy, something sweet and desirable,
Yeah, so it's a nice journey.
It is a journey in a way, yes.
Yeah. And was it difficult for you? Do you find it easy when you're writing about sex and things like that? Some people find it a bit kind of embarrassing writing about it, but some people it just it comes naturally to them.
Actually, that's what I started with, writing erotic and sensual poetry. My first poems were very sensual, I would say. And then I started writing about other things as well. So to me, it comes quite naturally. I find myself being quite a sensual person. I was always interested in sexuality and expressing myself in different ways. I'm also very romantic. So to me, it is quite natural. However, that being said, sharing it is a different story, because you are being quite vulnerable about yourself or what's going on in your mind, or sharing things that you might have experienced. And, you just put yourself out there for people to judge you, basically. But it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Oh, good for you. And if not, you can always say, oh, no, that one wasn't about me. That was my friend. And also, I think it's amazing. You're from Hungary, but I'm assuming everything you write is in English.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can only write in English. I have never tried writing in Hungarian.
That's amazing.
Not poetry anyway.
Yeah. That's very impressive. Not many people could do that. Not only write in another language, but write poetry, write so expressively in another language. That's quite a skill.
Well, thank you, Hannah. But, I sometimes actually translate my poems back into Hungarian so I can show my mom. My mom also likes to know what I'm about, what I'm writing about. Well, I usually skip on the erotic poems.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can leave those ones out as well.
But yeah, she knows I write that as well. But I like to translate a few personal pieces that I think she would like, and so she can enjoy and know what's I'm doing,
And have you ever been in relationships with or been dating men who knew about your poetry and were maybe either wanting you to write a poem about them or being embarrassed and saying, please don't write a poem about me?
Great question. Well, let me see, because I haven't been writing poetry for that long. So I haven't been in a proper long-term relationship actually since I started writing. Of course I had some connections and I did write about those. And some of them, yes, do know, and some of them very much appreciate it. Now, yes, I do have the heartbreak poems as well about exes, things like that. I'm not sure if they are aware of it, that they are in my book, to be honest. So I let them find out. That be their problem.
Absolutely.
It's my healing journey, and I hope it serves others as well when they read it.
Yeah. Well, it's a subject that everyone can relate to, isn't it? Falling in love, getting your heart broken. So I'm sure there's something in there for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if people want to get a copy of the book, it's called Spicy Dreams and Sugary Lies, a poetry collection about love, passion and betrayal. It's by Olivia Bella, who we've been chatting with. The book is available on our website, tre.radio. Olivia, thanks so much for joining us. I know you have a website as well, oliviabellapoetry.com, so people can go to that for more information. And that you live in Marbella, don't you?
I do, yes. And thank you so much for having me, Hannah. Yes, I do live in the south of Spain, yes.
Ah, nice. How long have you been here for?
On and off. I lived in Spain for 6 years.
Okay, fabulous. Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us on the book show, Olivia. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The Book Programme, presented by Hannah Murray. TRE Talk Radio Europe.